Have you ever wondered how one of the world's biggest car manufacturers could become increasingly involved in Formula One without buying a team, paying an enormous entry fee, or developing its own race car? It sounds impossible, yet Toyota appears to be doing exactly that. While most attention has focused on new manufacturers joining the grid through traditional routes, Toyota has been taking a very different approach. One built on partnerships, long-term planning, and a careful reading of Formula One's own regulations. Every step has been completely legal, but when those pieces are put together, they reveal a strategy that could reshape how major manufacturers think about entering the sport. Toyota knows better than almost anyone how expensive Formula One can become. During its first spell in the championship, the company invested billions of dollars over 8 seasons, built world-class facilities, and hired some of the sport's biggest names. Yet, despite that enormous commitment, it never managed to win a single Grand Prix before leaving the grid. For a company known for careful financial planning, that experience became a powerful lesson about the risks of Formula One. The challenge has only grown since then. Today, joining Formula One is no longer as simple as submitting an entry application. New manufacturers face substantial entry fees, established teams are valued at well over $1 billion, and developing a competitive car under modern regulations demands years of investment before meaningful results can be expected. Even building a new power unit has become one of the most technically demanding and expensive projects in motorsport. Rather than repeating the mistakes of the past, Toyota appears to have reached a different conclusion. Instead of forcing its way through Formula One's front door, it began looking for another route, one that required patience, strategic partnerships, and a far smaller financial gamble. When Toyota announced its partnership with Haas, many fans saw it as a familiar Formula One arrangement. A global manufacturer would place its branding on the car, provide financial backing, and gain international exposure while Haas received additional resources. On the surface, there was little reason to believe it was anything more than another commercial sponsorship. But as the partnership developed, it became clear that the logos were only the most visible part of the agreement. Behind the scenes, the relationship extended far beyond marketing. Instead of simply attaching its name to a Formula One team, Toyota began participating in areas that offered something far more valuable than advertising: direct involvement in the team's technical and operational activities. That distinction changes how the entire partnership should be viewed. Rather than treating Haas as an investment for publicity, Toyota appears to be using the collaboration as a practical learning environment. The branding attracts attention, but the real value lies in the access it provides, and that access exists because of a little-known set of FIA regulations that allows teams to operate in ways most fans rarely notice. The key to understanding Toyota's strategy isn't found in a headline announcement or a major regulation change. Instead, it begins with an FIA rule that receives very little attention outside the paddock. Testing of previous cars, commonly known as TPC. Modern Formula One teams have extremely limited opportunities to test their current machines. Strict regulations keep on-track running to a minimum, making every test session valuable. To help teams train drivers, evaluate procedures, and maintain operational readiness, the FIA allows them to run cars that are at least 2 seasons old under carefully controlled conditions. The purpose is not to develop the current championship car, but to give teams practical track time without affecting the competitive balance. For the largest organizations, these sessions are a routine part of their yearly program. For a smaller operation like Haas, however, regularly organizing TPC events requires significant spending on logistics, personnel, transport, circuit hire, and maintenance. As a result, not every testing opportunity can be fully utilized. That created an opening Toyota recognized. By helping fund Haas's TPC program, Toyota wasn't rewriting the rules. It was making full use of an opportunity that already existed. In return, the company gained something far more valuable than extra laps around a circuit: consistent access to real Formula One operations, providing experience that would normally take years and far greater investment to acquire. Financial investment alone doesn't create a competitive Formula One team. The greatest challenge for any newcomer is developing the people and process that make a race operation function efficiently under real-world conditions. That is where Toyota's partnership with Haas begins to reveal its greatest value. Through the TPC program, Toyota has been able to place not only its own drivers, but also engineers, mechanics, and technical specialists alongside Haas during testing activities. While the drivers gain valuable mileage in Formula One machinery, the larger benefit comes from everyone working behind the scenes. Engineers analyze telemetry, mechanics perform race-style servicing, and technical staff learn how every department communicates under track conditions. This kind of operational experience cannot be replicated in a classroom or simulator alone. It requires real cars, real data, real-time pressures, and coordinated teamwork. For a company considering a larger Formula One future, these are the skills that take the longest to develop. Importantly, everything takes place within FIA regulations. Toyota is participating as a technical partner rather than an official Formula One entrant, meaning it can build expertise without assuming the full responsibilities of running a championship team. Instead of purchasing years of experience at enormous cost, Toyota appears to be accumulating that knowledge gradually through practical involvement, creating a workforce that already understands Formula One before ever needing to operate under its own name. Trackside experience is only one part of building a competitive Formula One organization. Behind every successful team is a network of advanced facilities, engineering tools, and manufacturing capabilities that support performance long before a car reaches the circuit. This is another area where Toyota's long-term approach becomes increasingly significant. As its partnership with Haas has expanded, Toyota has contributed to strengthening the team's technical resources rather than simply supporting race weekends. Investments in simulation technology and engineering process give Haas greater in-house capability while allowing Toyota's specialists to work directly with the systems that modern Formula One teams rely on every day. The result is a growing base of technical knowledge that extends far beyond occasional testing sessions. At the same time, Toyota still possesses one of motorsport's most valuable assets: its former Formula One facility in Cologne, Germany. Although originally built for Toyota's previous F1 program, the site has remained active through other racing projects, preserving much of the expertise and infrastructure required for top-level competition. When viewed individually, these developments appear routine. Together, however, they begin to resemble the foundations of a future Formula One operation. Rather than constructing an entirely new organization from scratch, Toyota is gradually assembling the people, technology, and facilities needed for long-term success, all without officially becoming a Formula One constructor. If there is one area that defines the cost and complexity of modern Formula One, it is the power unit. Designing a competitive hybrid engine requires years of research, specialized engineering teams, and investments that can easily reach hundreds of millions before a single race is contested. Even then, success is far from guaranteed. Toyota appears to have taken a different approach. Instead of committing vast resources to developing a new power unit, it continues to operate alongside Haas while Ferrari supplies the engine package. That decision removes one of the biggest financial and technical risks from the equation, while still allowing Toyota's engineers to observe how a modern Formula One team integrates and manages a front-running power unit. This does not mean Toyota is gaining access to confidential Ferrari technology or bypassing FIA regulations. The partnership remains within the sport's approved framework. However, by avoiding the most expensive engineering challenge in Formula One, Toyota can focus its investment on building operational expertise, technical capability, and organizational strength, creating a stronger foundation should it ever decide to take the next step into the championship. When all the pieces are viewed together, Toyota's strategy becomes far more interesting than a simple technical partnership. Instead of paying billions to launch a new Formula One team, the company has gradually built experience, strengthened engineering capabilities, expanded its technical infrastructure, and learned how a modern race operation functions, all while remaining within the FIA's existing regulations. There is no evidence that Toyota has broken the rules or found an illegal shortcut. Every element of the partnership has taken place through approved frameworks designed for legitimate collaboration. Yet, when those individual pieces are combined, they create a pathway that few manufacturers have attempted before. Whether this ultimately leads to a full Formula One return remains uncertain. Toyota has made no official commitment to become a constructor, and Haas continues to operate as an independent team. Even so, the strategy raises an important question for the future of the sport. Has Toyota simply demonstrated exceptional long-term planning, or has it exposed a gap in Formula One's regulatory system that other manufacturers may soon try to follow?